Today, I want to show you how you can use brand new functionality to host a Q&A or question and answer session in a Microsoft Teams meeting. Now, of course, when you're in a meeting, you can have people ask questions via their microphone or just directly in the chat. But especially if it's a larger meeting, it's difficult to stay on top of all of the different questions. Or maybe you want to vet all of the different questions that come in. Here at the Kevin Cookie Company, we have some employees who ask some very pointed questions, and we want to make sure that only the most relevant questions make their way to management. All right, let's check this out. In Microsoft Teams, click into your calendar and then select one of the events where you would like to use a Q&A. Here, I have a meeting coming up for the Kevin Cookie Company Town Hall, and this is the perfect opportunity for KCC employees to ask management their burning questions. Now, of course, we'll consider all questions that employees submit, but whether we answer them, that's a completely different story. I'll click into this meeting. To add a Q&A to your meeting, let's click on the plus icon on top and then search for Q&A. Let's click on this one and then select Add. Here I see a few different settings that we can configure. First off, can attendees ask questions? Well, I want our audience to be able to ask questions, so I'll leave this one turned on. I can always go back and turn this one off once we're done with questions. Second, respond to conversations. When someone asks a question or kicks off a discussion, can other attendees respond to that? Sure, that sounds like a good idea. Lastly, allow organizers to moderate attendee conversations. With this turned on, as the organizer, you'll need to review every single question before the broader audience can see it. I think this is a good idea to turn on. I mean, you never know what types of questions employees will ask. Like, why are the benefits so bad here? I mean, just a hypothetical question. Once you turn this one on, you won't be able to turn it off anymore. This all looks good to me, so I'll click on Save. Here now, I can see the main Q&A interface. Over on the right-hand side, here I have all of my settings, and I can change these except for the last item related to moderation. Once again, once you turn that one on, it's locked. Up on top, I can ask a question, and why don't we seed it with one sample question? How does management always successfully navigate the cookie industry and drive record profits? And to think that some of my coworkers don't understand how I always get such positive performance reviews. Because I'm the organizer, my question immediately goes into published. Here, people can react to my question and they can also leave comments. Now, I think this is a pretty good question, so I'll give it a thumbs up. Is that weird to react to your own question? Along with asking a question, I can also kick off a discussion. Let's discuss why the Kevin Cookie Company is such an amazing place to work. This is the one discussion topic that is pretty much guaranteed to get high employee engagement. When I click on the ellipsis, I can edit, delete, close a conversation, or pin a conversation to the top. I want to pin this conversation to the top to make sure no one misses it. By default, these are the admin controls and all attendees have access to them. To limit who has control over the Q&A session, click back into Meeting Details, then select Meeting Options. Under Who Can Present, I'll set this to Only Me. This determines who can manage the Q&A. This all looks good now, so I'll click on Save. When we look at Nestor's view now, you'll see that he has none of the admin controls and he cannot configure any of the settings. Perfect! This now gives me dictator-like control. Back within Nestor's view, you can also filter all of the different questions and discussions. Here, I can filter it to only see conversations or discussions. I could also look at all of the questions, or I could filter it to only see the unanswered questions. This is extremely helpful to make sure that you go through and answer all questions. Let's now look at this experience within a meeting. Here in a meeting, up on the top bar, there's now a Q&A icon, And when I click on that, I now have a similar experience. Let's now see if any questions come in. And look at that, a question from Nestor.
I know you won't let this question through, Kevin. When are we going to be paid a living wage? I mean, I'm working 2 jobs over here. This is ridiculous.
Let's click on Publish to hear what management thinks. Of course, management doesn't want to see a question like that. Let's click on Dismiss. Next, let's click into Published and look at all of these great conversations. All happy employees here at the Kevin Cookie Company. I'll even throw in a response to this discussion topic: industry leading pay. Once we're done taking questions, back within settings, I can uncheck Allow Questions. I can also turn off responses. Now, I think we have some good discussion topics and questions, so no need for any more. Alright, that was a first look at the new Q&A functionality in Microsoft Teams. If you would like a job at the Kevin Cookie Company, let me know down below in the comments, why do you think the KCC is such an amazing place to work? To watch more videos like this one, please consider subscribing. I'll see you next time.